All right, 6:30 p.m. on Thursday, what month is this? August 24th. We've called the meeting of the River Plantation Municipal Utility District Board of Directors. Okay, number 1 on the agenda, approve the minutes of the meetings of the Board of Directors. Anybody see anything wrong with the July 13th minutes?
I would not.
No.
Okay. Do I have a motion to accept the July 13th minutes?
Yeah, move we accept the minutes.
I second it. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. July 21st minutes, any questions on that one? Any comments?
No.
Okay. Do I have a motion to accept that one?
Move to accept.
Okay, I second it. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, receive comments from the public. Is there anybody on the list? Oh, somebody's coming in. I don't know who it is, but, oh. Anybody on there?
I said, just
Okay.
a couple things.
Okay, it's Mark Robin.
Charleston,
Yes,
there's a lot of minor cosmetic stuff that I think should be done.
okay,
That's not getting done.
Can-
Some of the sprinkler boxes, the control boxes
Yeah.
are down on their sides. The restroom on 6,
okay.
something needs to clean up there.
Can you shoot me an email with the list?
I'll go tomorrow, I'm walking tomorrow morning, I'll
Okay.
take pictures or whatever, but.
Okay.
Yeah,
shoot it to
there's
me.
like the green that used to be for the water and the trash cans.
Okay,
You know, you're not using them, people toss trash in there,
Right.
nobody's picking it up.
okay. And I have to apologize, we've just been, this has turned into almost a full-time job for me the last couple of months, so I
Okay.
apologize for not staying on top of that, so. But if you will shoot me a list, I will make sure it gets addressed, so,
Okay.
what I can.
Oh, yeah, like I said, most of the stuff, like little minor stuff.
Yeah, because if you tell me tonight, I'm not gonna remember it tomorrow, but if you shoot me in, I'll remember, I'll make a
Okay.
list. I appreciate it.
And the other thing is about the meetings, when you change the meeting dates, there's other avenues other than just posting it on the website, because I don't go to the website every day and
Okay.
Maybe social media, are you talking about like social media or something?
emails. You guys have
yeah.
all our emails and stuff for
I would like
a
to
good
do
bit.
just an update of the things we're working on in a positive way to go out on the emails. We're sending emails by our bills by emails now, right?
We
For the
can't,
most part.
if they're signed up for an email.
Right, if they are signed up for it, and we can't make them, but if we are, I would like to put little notes in there, get a note from each, from engineering, from accounting, just highlight stuff, just real short. I will volunteer to put it together in a format
Okay.
that can go. We send
Can
it-
you do attachments like newsletter?
We can do like
Small ones?
we can do like a bill insert.
Okay.
So I mean, and that would most likely, that would go out in a hard copy. If you're not signed up for an e-bill, it would be just an insert.
Okay,
And then it can also be attached to the e-bill, to the folks that are enrolled in e-bill, but yes.
Okay.
I would like to do that.
Okay,
So what I need from each of you guys is just like 3 lines of what was accomplished last month. That's all, not these.
so what would
words.
be the deadline for that? So if the bills go out, when the bills go out, they go out, what, the second week of the month?
No, like the 28th?
Well, that's when the payments due.
No,
But when's
payments due 15th, or
No,
25th.
because payments due the 25th, when's the next bills go out?
I mean, so we'll read, we've already read.
Yeah, you'd
Okay.
have to tell you, I think.
I mean, so it should only be a week or so after.
After the
reading.
payment? Okay, after the reading, okay.
I think
All right, so make some notes tonight if you want for the first one. Because you'll probably need, how much in advance do you need it?
Yeah, I mean, we need it a few days in advance so we can get everything kind of teed up and in order. We can get to the print shop so that it's all kind of in queue with the bill.
Right.
But I'll coordinate with you tomorrow
Okay.
on when kind of this first, this August bill will generate. If we have time, we can do it. If not, we may roll to.
For next month?
Right.
Is there gonna be an extra charge for that
So-
too?
I mean, typically on the insert, if it's just black and white, single page, I think it's like 10 cents, a bill, if you will.
Okay. And then if you can do it, we can put it on the website too.
Yes, sure.
Okay, so, okay.
Because
Okay.
people aren't gonna read all the minutes and all these documents, but something quick, newsletter-like, I think would be much more effective.
Okay. All right. All right. Do you have any comments? No? We're good? All right. Number 3, financial and bookkeeping matters. Bookkeeper's report. Okay. Any questions on the bookkeeper's report?
Look at that, I've got to look at
I
that.
didn't see anything.
I have something I'd like to turn in, but I have to leave.
What is it? Let me look at it before you give it.
No, you will get your copy.
Okay.
Thank you.
You take that copy.
No, that copy's for your attorney.
Okay.
Let me look at the, hang on a minute, I'm looking at the counting. I thought I marked something on here, but.
Okay.
What is this supposed to be?
I don't know, don't remember.
I guess I like it.
I didn't see anything that was questionable.
The only thing, well, maybe let's see where that goes. Okay. The only thing I noticed was, East Plantation has pick and choose which bills they paid, and they're like $50,000 in arrears. So I don't know if it was those, do you remember, Davis, when they said they weren't billing them for something? And, but it's like $50,000, almost $200 that they're in arrears for it with us.
I think it might be a good idea to reach out to Carol, get copies of the bills that are unpaid, and send those to a director
Okay,
who might be able to coordinate with their bookkeeper. It seems like there's been some communication issues between the two of them, possibly in the past.
okay,
We had one that was unpaid. I'm not aware that they have disputed any bills, or certainly not recently, and the only one that was ever disputed, I think we got resolved. So
okay,
we asked I asked that Carol include that page in the report for exactly that purpose,
okay,
so that we could keep an eye on it. So
Okay.
I think would be a good thing to do, and I'm happy to help.
okay, all right. I'll reach out to her tomorrow and see what they can say and see if she can follow up on it. So, okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Do we want to discuss the upcoming budget under the bookkeeper's report? Do we want to approve this first and then discuss the upcoming budget?
Yes, that is actually the next line item under financial.
Oh,
bookkeeping
review the
matters
draft.
is-
Okay.
Is 3B.
Okay. Okay, so do I have a motion to accept the bookkeeper's report?
I'll make a motion, we accept the bookkeeper's report.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right. Number 2 is review the draft budget for fiscal year end 9/30 of 2024. So, obviously I put the wrong dates on that.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so, okay.
I just say that state law requires that you adopt a budget on an annual basis. We like to put it on your agenda a month in advance of the regular meeting before the deadline, so that you have a chance to review it and discuss it. And I think it is particularly timely tonight, considering that it is time to discuss or start the discussion on your tax rate. So just a reminder on your tax rate, you propose a rate tonight, consider adoption of a rate at your next meeting, and we do need to tweak the meeting schedule in order to meet the deadline from the Montgomery County Tax Office, so which is September 15th. So we've talked about that. So Julie did a bunch of work to put budget together, and I'll let you take the review.
Did
All
I
right.
get a copy of that?
I emailed it to you
Okay.
last night.
I didn't print it.
So what I did, just to give you an idea what I did, I put last year's budget on there.
This one?
Yes, that's not the actuals, that's the budget amounts. And then in your bookkeeper's report, we have the actuals. So what I did was I extrapolated, I hate using that word, but I extrapolated for this year.
Okay.
based on what we actually spent this year. And if you'll look, and I kept the tax rates, the property tax collections the same, and I kept the water collections the same, because all I could do was use what we actually collected.
Okay.
Okay? So, if you'll look at the bottom, you'll notice the deficit we projected.
50,000, 53,000.
400, no. You didn't get the new
400,000?
one?
Oh, I'm looking at the-
400,000?
I'm just looking at the wastewater.
Oh, yeah, go over to the other one. 400,000 is our deficit,
Yeah.
what we're projecting, based on what we spent this year. Questions, comments?
So
You
on
see anything wrong?
on the legal fees, we were at 180,000 already, and it's gonna go up.
Because we've got some other things coming up that we've got, that I'm just projecting, I think I projected between a 5 and 10% increase for all the professionals. So,
Bookkeeping fees,
yeah,
double.
no, they're double the, yeah, that's, yeah. I'm still working on that, so. I have a couple of other MUDs that I've talked to figure out what they're gonna do, and so.
It's a time to look for where we can cut.
Either cut, or we're gonna have to increase the tax rate, and that's what we've got to decide. At this point, you can have it.
Okay.
Got plenty of copies. At this point, what we've gotta do tonight is either propose a tax rate to cover that, otherwise we're gonna cut into our reserves. And I think Warren is gonna talk about that a little bit more. But right now, we're at 9 months reserve, 12 months reserve?
For
10
your
months?
general fund?
Yeah,
No, your general fund balance in this bookkeeper's report
okay,
is about $1,045,000.
okay,
And the annual expenditures in the budget version that I was using, which is a little bit less than what you
Right.
have, is about almost 1.8 million. So that's 7-month reserve.
yeah, yeah. So,
Is there a legal requirement of how much reserves we have to have?
No, well, I shouldn't have said that.
No, there is not a legal requirement to maintain a certain level of reserves, although I think Lauren can give you some advice on how the market views it. And we, generally get some input from your auditor as well. I will say that the industry standard goal is a 1-year operating reserve, for what that's worth.
so if I'm not mistaken, to cover that, we're at about a 17-cent increase on the tax rate.
Sounds big to me.
Yeah. 23 cents was what we had last year for
Big
that.
deficit.
But that was
20.
because, yeah,
What was it, 20,
20
yeah,
and a half.
and that was seemed like a lot, so another 17 cents is gonna be.
so what can we cut? What can we cut next year that we didn't cut this year? Or do we raise the water rates?
We did that last year.
We gotta cover $400,000. I guess we could all contribute 80,000.
Yeah.
Take it out of my salary.
Yeah.
Idea.
Yeah. So, somehow, and I took the actual numbers that we spent this year, and actually, repairs and maintenance, I actually was conservative and downgraded them a little bit over what we spent this year.
Administrative fees went up from 338 to 425, so that's about $80,000 right there.
But, let's see.
That's, you got 40,
But,
that's
but that's
40,000.
because, yeah, look,
40,000
that's,
there's-
and this, it
yeah.
was actually more, closer to that number.
Wow.
You've got, I have a question about the
Okay.
interest revenue,
Okay,
because it went from 4,500 to 20,000. We're expecting that much of a growth.
Tim, I'd say that's not too far off.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
I know the interest rates have gone up, but have they jumped that much?
yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
But if we keep the money we have invested in the Texas pool,
yeah,
probably.
okay. Fair enough.
What's the final number? Oh,
That's the wrong.
you did the wrong one, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I shouldn't have put them both on there. I was trying to do all of them for the bookkeeper, so I could just send it to her when we were done, so. So, questions, comments? We gotta recommend a rate.
Does it have
Tonight?
to be done tonight?
Yes, we have to recommend it tonight. Then when we have our special meeting in September on the 7th, is that when it is?
So,
7th. We cannot go up from that amount, but we can always go down from that amount.
whatever we announced tonight.
Whatever we,
is the max.
whatever we announce tonight is the max.
So what we put out tonight is simply let's say a benchmark, and it can reduce, but we can't go up. So
Correct.
It's not written in stone and it doesn't
That's
go
correct.
anywhere.
That's correct. That's what, oh,
That's exactly right. There will be a notice that will be published, that will, provide calculations on the impact on a hypothetical, average homeowner, which is the average homestead value of the district, and include the proposed tax rate, and then you will hold a public hearing at your next meeting. It will be a special meeting in order to meet the deadline of the Montgomery County Tax Office, which is, the middle of September, and falls before your regular meeting date. And you will need to consider the adoption of the tax rate at that time if you want to be included on the tax bill. If you don't make that deadline, Montgomery County will require that you send out your own
your own bill.
tax bills and that you bear the cost associated with that.
We don't want that.
No, that's just more cost.
So on this, on our expenditures for the water service, the maintenance and repairs are about 48,000 for now, and they're gonna be 195. That's just because we've had,
Th- Yeah, that was what was budgeted.
Yeah,
That's
and-
not what was actually spent.
okay.
So-
So 195 is because we're having busted pipes everywhere and all that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then over here you have laboratory expense for water. It was about 6,000's budget, and that's gonna be 26,000.
Because that's about, yep.
The
'Cause
lab
if you
expense?
look, pull up your budget, pull up your year-to-date amount.
It's the actual versus.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Make sure you're on the right one. Are you on the general fund? No, you're on the joint drainage. You need the one that says GOF over the top. This one. That one? No, that's the bank, that's the. Okay, that's your expenditures. Where's your, I don't know where your income is on that one. But yes, that's your
Oh, laboratory
expenditures.
expense right there.
Okay, yep. So, but here's what it actually is. This is the
So
column
we're
you
way
gotta
over-
look at.
Yeah, so we're way over budget.
Correct.
Okay, I see.
Yep.
So on the spreadsheet, you have wastewater separated out,
Mhm.
is that included also in the wastewater in the general operating budget?
Yes, that's our share of the 50% of the wastewater treatment plant. Because we move money from the general operating to the wastewater treatment plant. So that's our 50% plus other things that we, yep.
anyway.
So I'm open for suggestions.
So our 50% for the wastewater is budgeted at
Actually,
284.
yeah, actually it's 60, I'm sorry, it's 60/40. So,
Okay, I got you.
yeah.
It's a little bit confusing. It's 50/50 on the drainage
Right.
and on some of the transmission lines, and it's based on capacity in the wastewater treatment plant.
Yeah.
So
It's
if,
59/41.
Okay. I use 60/40. So,
I think that's close enough.
so if we go 17 cents, does that balance this?
17 cents balances it.
Okay. Since the tax portion would be essentially available to be a deduction off of a homeowner's potentially off their payment, it would be more beneficial to do that than a rate increase. However, if we did some of both, would that balance things out a little bit more for people, you think?
How much would you have to raise in the rates?
Don't know yet.
Yeah.
Don't know yet. I would easily say at least 10 or 12%.
Has the rates, the flow rates gone up because of the dry and people watering?
Oh, using more of it?
Using more of it?
Or usage, yeah.
Because, you know, coming off a drought like this and start increasing rates on, you know, people's
Right.
yards, they've already
Yeah.
gone up.
Well, whatever we did, it wouldn't take effect until
Hopefully it starts
October
raining.
anyway. Yeah. Hopefully we'll get some rain between now and October,
No kidding.
so.
There's lightning within 30 miles of here, so.
Ooh, pray for rain.
I like the idea of, instead of splitting it between the increase, because that way the biggest users are going to be hit more than everybody equal, even though you have some people using a lot more than others.
Okay. Okay.
Figuring out what that number is a different story.
Right.
Yes, yet to be determined.
So do we want to set it at 17? Tim work on the rates, and then we come back in September and see where we're at?
Good with that.
I'm good with that.
We good with that?
So now I
Okay,
can only
somebody
option.
make a motion.
I'll make a motion that we work on a tax increase of 17 cents.
Okay. Do I have a second?
A second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so can we clarify the total proposed M&O rate? Lauren, can you maybe note that for the record?
Yeah, going up by 17 cents, the M&O tax rate would be 44.
Okay, M&O to 44.
No change to the debt service tax rate.
Right.
That would remain at 25.
If we go to 44 though, how does that put us in comparison to other districts? I think we'd be
Oh.
way under everybody.
You have
I
that,
can
yeah.
show you afterwards, but I have the comparison from when we did the bond thing on my laptop.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking that from what we have been, we've been staying way under
Yes,
everybody else.
yes.
So this would just be really kind of bringing
Bring
us
us
in
up.
line with the,
Right.
with the other districts.
Right.
I think that keeps us still below Conroe.
Well,
Well,
that's
and
easy.
we
True.
can show what we're doing with it. It's not like we're not doing anything with it. I mean, we've got projects going.
Again, if we could let everybody know that we have those projects going. and
Well, that's
people-
why I posted
Yeah.
today, so it was a,
It would help a lot.
Just because it is important, and y'all talked about the 17-cent tax rate and made the increase, I just want to make sure I have it clear. Could we maybe get the same motion and second for a 44-cent tax rate and a 44-cent M&O rate and a 25-cent debt rate, and to call the public hearing, and I think we're September 7th. So that would be the first Thursday in September.
September 7th?
Yes.
so it's 44
So
cents.
call, so today we will propose a maintenance operations rate of 44 cents, a debt service rate of 25 cents, and call a public hearing to be held on September 7th at 6:30 to consider just to
Okay.
make sure I'm totally clear.
I'll make a motion that we put the M&O rate at 44 cents and the debt service rate at 25 cents, and that we also call for a public hearing on September 7th at 6:30.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry to, I just,
And that's what, a couple of weeks, that's not very far off.
You're
No.
right.
Yeah.
2 weeks. Two, yeah.
Okay. Tax assessor collectors report. Any questions, comments?
Looks like they're done there. Pretty much.
Yep. Review of the investments. Still got, earning good interest rates at Texas Pool. I don't know what else to say. Still earning good interest rates?
Not $400,000 though.
No.
Would that be? Good
Yeah.
point.
That would be nice, but yeah, okay. Okay, so I need a motion to accept the tax assessor collector's report and the review of the investments.
I make a motion that we accept the tax assessor collector's report and the review of investments.
Okay, all in favor? Oh, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, all right, approve the payment of the district's bills. Anybody have any questions on the bill payments?
Never.
All signed.
All right.
They're all
Yeah.
signed.
I'll make a motion, we accept payment of the district's bills.
I second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, operators report.
Alrighty, good evening. Good to be with you all again. Apologize for my absence the last couple of months, but should have our report there in front of you for the month of July. Show you 975 connections, 10 of those being vacant, received 92,107.09 in revenue. Beneath that's the summary of your billed consumption by user type, showing you billed out a total of 13,788,000 gallons. Beneath that, for the period ending July 19th, total gallons produced, 13,934,000. Again, beneath that, billed out 13.7, 13.8 million, accounting for 99% of the water. We had 5 leaks in the district. We took the 6 bacteriological samples. Those results were good. Just for what it's worth, prior comment about the drought, kind of increased demand. Back in May, we billed out just over 7 million gallons, June 12 million, and now you see we're at almost 14. And
What's the effect on our aquifer? Are we running a risk here at all, or are we?
we're, I mean, so far in good shape. I mean, and y'all have the drought contingency plan. We're watching well runtime hours and kind of total system demand, and you guys are in good shape. That's part of the reason also why we do those biannual well reports. We want to look at pump submergence and how's the aquifer responding to heavy demand and everything else. So I mean, as it stands today, you guys are in good shape. But
So if I understand correctly, we're not using well number 2, right?
we are.
Yeah.
One are we not using?
One.
Okay, if we were to use 1, would that affect the aquifer any different than using 2 and 3, or is it all from the same
Different
pool?
It's a different aquifer.
It is, so we have that option if we do get in trouble.
Well, we have to
There's some
put
work
it back
that-
in service.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys would not see the ramifications of kind of the aquifer and like a instantaneous type thing. We'll see some of the excess drawdown, but you won't see like an actual drop in the aquifer in a snapshot of anything from a drought year. It's usually a longer term, slowly watching it drop.
And well number 1 doesn't put out
Like
a whole lot of water.
Yeah, and on those, next time we look at a biannual well report, we can kind of talk about it kind of with the drought in mind. But to Taylor's point, I mean, you'll see, I mean, you would think in the winter months is when all those levels are real high, but that's actually, they're low because they're trying to recover from
Sure.
all the summer withdrawal. And then our summer month test, we're benefiting from the recharge, and then we start pulling on it pretty hard. So
So we
can,
need some storms is what you're saying.
oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I would
Yeah.
love
So we actually doubled the amount on well number 3 that we did on well number 2. Is that normal? I didn't.
You know, it's I mean, it's a function of set points. I mean, we're kind of watching and monitoring, well production, trying to share the load, as much as we can. I think there's a little bit more production capacity there, so that's why we've been leaning on it, but we can always kind of tweak, set points to allow one plant to carry a load versus the other. And that's something we'll continue to keep an eye on. Beneath that, kind of middle of the page there is your wastewater treatment plant. all in permit. They're currently at 47% of the permitted capacity. Beneath that, 5 or almost 6 million gallons of reuse there for the calendar month of July, so that's good.
Have we been paid for that?
Yes, sir. And then beneath that's the summary of your age receivables, pretty good shape there. Last month, Mario had a note from last month's meeting about the graph as to the number of users by consumption, and so that's what you have there. Certainly, if y'all have questions, if you want something changed as to how that graph laid out, let me know. But see the number of users.
Wow,
by
so the usage.
user type. And then at the bottom there is the graph showing your accountability, 22 to 23. Following 3 pages is your DMR that was submitted to the TCEQ on the district staff for July. Again, I'll point you to that 3rd column in from the right. If you run down the list there, you'll see value zeros, which is good. That indicates, again, there's no violation, there's no issues there. The last page, this is a new page. This is in response to a conversation I had with Carl. He had mentioned, on the wastewater side of things, we're showing you kind of the max and min in terms of disinfectant. He said, hey, can you show me something in terms of drinking water? And so what's included there is just essentially the monthly log sheet from the sample points out in distribution. So I'm not showing residuals at the plant. I'm showing you, as part of our daily plant checks, we've got to go out and collect residuals in distribution. And so those are results there. Again, no issues, no violations. The min, or the minimum amount from the TCEQ there is 0.2 milligrams per liter. We're certainly above that. The high end of that's for no need to run an overly elevated residual, so long as we're not seeing increased demand for organics. Outside of that, I don't have much else to report. I mean, obviously, even some ongoing conversations about sewer tap. I don't know if you want me to talk about it.
Sure, go ahead.
So, been many months we've been talking about sewer service for the new construction there on Natchez Park. There's been lots of effort to try to avoid, getting in and making a mess and disrupting a bunch of things. And we did what seemed to make the most sense. There's an elevation issue. We kind of knew this on the front end. And so now we're kind of back to having to try to relay a lateral, an existing lateral that was there long before we ever showed up. But to relay that lateral to achieve enough grade or adequate fall that we can pick up this service and convey it to the sanitary sewer system. Again, trying to do that in a way that's as, that we're not going to get in and open cut a trench through the park there. And that's been kind of the mind's eye. That's kind of been our effort. I mean, the unfortunate reality is that there's really no effective way to do much of anything without at least being in the park to a degree. And so we did hydro excavate just inside the park, again, to try to attempt to locate that lateral, because if there's not proper depth there, then there's nothing for us to do. We got to reroute and come up with something else in terms of how we can service that home. We do believe there to be enough fall, and so we're going to open cut again on the outside, so on the edge of pavement. We're going to open cut there, lay a new sewer line. We'll pick up the new construction. We will have to bore kind of at an angle underneath Natchez Park, and then pick up that existing lateral. So again, we'll have to dig a bore pit just inside the park, just off the edge of pavement, in order to send the whole hog, if you will, underneath Natchez Park, and then we'll pull the pipe through after that and tie in.
So you're saying that all those houses in Natchez Park are going into one line that's in the park, that's in the park itself?
Well, that's the sewer main. The sewer main
The
runs.
sewer line,
Yeah, so the sewer main, the last manhole dead ends in the center of the park, and all of those lots contribute to it.
What about that hole on the end of the park as you first come in?
So that's the upstream side of that. So I mean, there's 2 manholes on that sanitary sewer line that run through the park. Essentially either way, we're going to have to be excavating, and I mean, initially we felt this was the least destructive option. Ideally, we wouldn't even have to do anything in the park. If there was enough fall, we could just pick up, because there was already a lateral on that property line. So we could tie in there, sewer convey. We did inspections, dye test, everything else, and so there would be no need for excavation. But I think ultimately, either way, if we're going to go to the upstream manhole or the downstream manhole, we're going to have to, one, get under Natchez Park, which is going to require a bore pit, or a receiving pit, so
So
either
you're
way.
gonna bore under the park to the middle of the park?
No,
No, ma'am.
they're more under the road.
I'm attempting to bore under the road, but stay as close to pavement as I can, because I don't wanna go and cut a
Okay.
trench, because that sewer line runs just about the middle of the park, and I'm trying to avoid
So you're trying
overcutting.
to tie in at the road?
Yes, ma'am. I'm
Okay.
trying to stay as far out of the park as I
Yeah, no,
possibly
I
can.
got you.
So.
Okay.
Pretty deep
And-
little
Who's paying for all this? Are we paying for this or is he?
No,
Yeah.
the cost of the sewer tap would be,
Do
it's
what?
gonna be, the cost of the sewer tap will be at the expense of the home builder, the homeowner.
Okay, so he's paying for, if there's, when you had a mistake there and it wasn't, well, now you have to do another
Correct.
one, is he paying for all of that?
Yeah, because he was told at the beginning that it wasn't the right
Yeah, I mean,
elevation.
Yeah.
Oh, the homeowner was?
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, some of this, a lot of this has been, somewhat cart before the horse, if you will. We're doing a lot of stuff now that we should have done a long time ago, and there's lots of
So
other
those
issues.
mistakes are paid by him too, or we're
Sure.
not paying for those, are we? Okay.
I mean, you'll see it, the work from us will be on your bill, but he's gonna cut a check to River Plantation for the amount of the work.
Okay, now he did pay us already.
But that was for the trees.
The trees, he did pay that.
Yeah.
And Keith, he'll make a deposit with the district for the estimated cost right before the work would be performed and be billed for any overage.
Yes, sir.
Do we have any idea how much it's cost so far?
Total cost to date shouldn't be shouldn't be all that much. I mean, once we go in and actually make the connection, I mean, that's gonna be a little bit more involved, because we're gonna have open cut. We'll
Are you
have to-
talking about less than 1,000 or?
To date?
Yeah,
Yes, I would.
okay.
Yeah, certain things.
We end up boring under the whole, the road, isn't that well expensive? Don't you have to have that special
No,
machine? I just went through this in my house.
I mean, boring certainly is added cost, but, with the size of line we're doing everything else, we're not doing a bunch of steel case and everything, I mean, it's not, it's not terrible.
It's a pretty deep little trench you have there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, like, down to the,
I walked down and looked into it and it's like, oh, it's not a little
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that too. I went by there too. I saw it.
And it's full of sand, we filled it, there's a little bit of it
Going
on
on
there.
the
just-
inside of the park?
Yes, ma'am. So that happened today. I mean, there's some added, so it's not, level at grade. I mean, we tried to clean it up. Again, we're gonna be back there hopefully tomorrow, if not Monday, or at least in very near term to dig a pit. So a lot of that's gonna come out. But again, as part of all this, is restoration and everything else. So the R&, go ahead.
sorry, one last question. The piping that he has, in his yard right now that's elevated with bricks and stuff, is that gonna stay?
No, ma'am.
So that's just a temporary on his part?
That's correct.
Any questions? Approve the operators, a motion to accept the operators.
I make a motion, we approve the operator's report.
A second.
All in favor?
All right.
Review the rate order.
We don't have to
I haven't read it.
Do we have, not for water rates, do we have a rate
Oh.
order for something else? Okay.
No, I just understood that there was a request, to talk about water rates.
Water rates, okay, yeah.
I know that there's some work that's being done on it, and I don't know if it's ready or not, but it was just on the agenda in case,
Yeah.
we wanted to talk about it. But
Now, put it on there for the, actually, we'll have to talk about it this special meeting. So can you put it on the 7th? Because we'll have to make that determination which way we're gonna go with that.
Okay, sure.
So, and that's my fault for not getting that budget out sooner, so. Okay, engineers report.
Alrighty, first item is the permits, nothing really new to report on A through C. They're just standing items, kind of giving you dates. The emergency operations information, we submitted the emergency preparedness, and that's just updating the general contact information, things as it changes. Moving into the joint projects, FEMA issued a RFI, request for information, so we submitted back all the information they asked, and I think everything checked out, so we're just waiting hopefully for approval in the near future. East ditch maintenance, we did receive a bid from All Seasons Maintenance. in the amount of $35,900 for like an initial cleaning, and then they are proposing a $6,500 quarterly cleaning, which I think is a really, really good price, so.
My question is, though, we just paid quite a bit to have that cleaned. It can't be that
It's
bad
been
now.
almost a year
It's
now.
been
Yeah, because there's trees already going on.
Yeah.
It's been quite a long time.
It really doesn't seem like it.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
So,
Is that a realistic price then for an initial?
the last time,
We're not gonna have to do that again.
no,
No,
the once
as
you
long
get
as
into
we keep
maintenance,
up with
yeah.
it.
I thought
There's already trees growing in some of
Correct,
it
yeah,
here,
it's
so
growing
it's been a
fast,
while.
As soon as they finished last time, the silt poured right in there, the dirt filled in the bottom, and that just,
I know, I thought that's what we did all that last time, now we're doing it again.
Well, and when Richard was doing it, he was doing it on a yearly basis.
And we're gonna be doing it quarterly.
And we're gonna be doing it quarterly, which.
$6,500 seems fair to me. That's pretty.
very
On the
good.
quarter,
I thought
I
it
mean,
was pretty cheap.
oh, yeah,
Inexpensive.
all the other bidders I went after were like $3,500 every cleaning, so.
Yeah.
I think this is a very reasonable bid, for them to operate that, and we walked the whole ditch and stuff, so I believe that they have a good understanding of the project. So, wastewater treatment plant rehab, electrical upgrades, that design's underway. Holly Springs drainage issue, East Plantation requested some additional exhibits that I provided. Pretty much what they wanted to see was what the 10-year conditions look like as of today on a graphic model, and then options 1 and 2, so hopefully they'll move forward with one of those decisions. Moving on to the district projects, we're well underway with the district-wide drainage study, pulling all the existing models from the San Jacinto River and creating ours. Sanitary sewer rehab phase 2. I am looking to request authorization to move forward with the design of that. You guys are underway with the first one, and then you guys have about $490,000 remaining in your CIP budget for this one. Same with the manhole rehab. You haven't done anything with the manholes, so just trying to get these projects underway, get going on them as we're getting things rolling. Nothing new on the clean televisor. They did finally give me some revised videos, so hopefully that will finally close that project out. Sanitary sewer phase 1, we have 3 pay applications, and this is abnormal. Normally we don't have it, but because y'all's not meeting was so early last month, things kind of got bottled up, and so we've got pay application number 1 in the amount of $82,837, number 2 in the amount of $104,410, and number 3 in the amount of $72,458. Charleston Park irrigation, we received the invoice attached for $5,000, and that was to do all the research and digging into everything wrong with the irrigation system on the 9 holes. And then we also received the attached proposal broken down by hole in our report. And so if you look at that, it's a total of $49,000, but they did allow for an allowance of $8,000, which is just kind of unforeseen things. That maybe if they dug down and got something, but they broke it down per hole, you kind of see. I'll be honest, we don't do a whole lot of work with irrigation. I mean, I think it's a pretty reasonable price, but as long as that line has been in the ground and the research that those guys did, they seem to have a pretty good idea of what it's going to take. So I'd imagine that no additional change orders or information is going to come from going forward with it.
How soon could they be able, if we agreed with it, how soon would they?
I mean, they were really pushing me to try to get something done before the meeting, and there was just no way to do it. So, I mean, I think they're
ready to go.
ASAP, and
It's burning up out there, the
Correct.
trees are burning up.
and they understand. I mean, they related a lot, and they're talking. So if you want to save these trees, we need to go ASAP. So, I think they're pretty ready to move on it quickly.
So what do we got left in the park? That's what I was looking for. I want to say it was like 39.
I thought it was 20.
I thought it was
20
20
something.
something, 20.
Okay. So the rest would have to come out of,
M&O.
yeah, 24, yeah. So, no, that's not,
I think it's 24, 29.
so the rest of it would have to come out of,
Would that include any surplus or anything?
hmm?
Would that include any surplus or anything in that park?
That, I don't know, that's what I was trying to find. I know it was in here because I looked at it last night. I can't find where it's at now.
Taylor, on the,
Should have zero bond.
It's on page
20, yeah,
30 of the packet.
20,000 is what we've got left in there.
So we have
And,
29.
Hmm?
So we'd owe 29.
We've been out.
yeah, but we got a, what was your question?
We
been any contingency?
Oh, no, I was just saying if there was any, I mean, you
Oh.
say 29, but no others.
It's 20.
So this year, okay, yeah, so it's 20.
So
I
the-
was just making sure that was covered. And sometimes people just look at the projects versus
Oh,
the soft
yeah.
costs that were remaining, so.
Yeah,
So the 5 that we've paid was just for the work they've done, it
So
doesn't
far.
credit to this?
correct.
Correct.
It's a separate bid.
And I sent out that report, if you guys saw it,
Yeah.
of kind of all the work that
Yeah.
they put
Yeah.
together.
So has it found all the sprinkler heads and?
Don't we need more?
Yes.
No, we don't need more bids because
Yeah, so
they,
this is a specialty sort of
Yeah.
project, and I sent it out to Tim, and I checked with Davis on this item. Because of all the work they did and because of the advantageous of going with a singular bidder, because we believe it's gonna be the best price
right.
and least advantageous to unforeseen circumstances, that we can get around the
The
Because they already
effort,
know where everything
the
is.
effort that it would take to
There
get
is an
another bid
exception.
Okay, so-
outweighs,
I think, yeah.
outweighs the
So
price.
then, if we approve this with this allowance of 8,000, there won't be any supplements, is that what I heard?
That's correct, and I'm gonna even pencil in before anything is signed or contracts are done, but only with my approval, meaning that I have to verify that they're necessary improvements. They have to go through
Or changes.
a request process through me to be able to authorize those.
So you gotta authorize any change
For the
order.
additional 8,000, normally change orders will come back just straight to you. If we include something as kind of a contingency item in a bid, normally we just say with consent of the engineer, and you rely on my judgment.
Okay.
And I'll just note for the record that there is an exception to the public bidding requirement for projects like this that are not amenable to public bidding, right? This is a contractor who's already done the analysis on the system, and it is gonna be much more problematic to have Taylor trying to put together a bid package on a project like this than it is to use the existing maintenance contractor who's analyzed the system to do the repairs.
Do we need to vote on it?
Mhm, we do.
So you're
Well,
saying
well,
if
we
we
gotta quite a
we have to
few.
approve it.
tonight, they should go start pretty quick?
Yes.
Because we're losing everything.
Sure,
Yeah.
yeah. So they'll get on it pretty fast.
Vote here.
I have one, I guess back to you, I still have one question. I'm not comfortable that I've ever got a good answer that we've got an air gap in that old affluent line that used to feed it. I mean, I know we got 2 meters set to feed it, but is there an air gap now from the old one so that can't contaminate it?
Yes, sir, there's,
Because I mean, I've asked that question about 2 or 3 meetings.
yes, sir.
And I keep getting wishy-washy answers, I think.
Our
I just
staff-
want to know for sure it's
Our
there.
staff met with the folks that were doing the survey. I mean, there was a big meeting of the minds, and we ensured that there was segregation of that.
Okay, so it can't be contaminated by that, that's my main concern.
Correct.
Okay.
And that's just an overall requirement with any irrigation system. Even on your house, you have an air gap.
Yeah, I understand that,
Yeah.
but I wasn't comfortable with the
Yeah,
answers I was getting.
that would have been on me. It was more just making sure that those guys had gotten it installed and everything, and that's on me. I apologize for giving a kind of informative answer. The storm sewer phase 1 rehab, that contractor, you guys have seen him in the areas, starting to rip out pipe. We did notify him in the sinkhole in the backyard of 702 Stonewall Jackson. I actually met with him today to take a look at it. They're gonna take some cement stabilized sand and some spoils, get that filled up back to grade it out, put some grass over it as well.
We're doing other work around there.
The Stone Mountain sinkhole, that contractor's completed. Julie and I have actually met him
Looks
over the
good.
day.
Looks good.
They've got a couple of punch list items. They did submit pay application number 1 in the amount of $228,900 that I've attached. We recommend that you guys authorize that. I'm gonna hold on to the check until they've finished all of our punch list items. Water plant number 2, electrical upgrades. We're just reviewing submittals as they come in, and the contractors are ordering equipment. Moving on to other matters, the 10-year CIP, we're going to begin work on updating all the cost estimates based on the CIP, and so in October, we'll kind of show you all the projects you guys have underway, have completed, what bond funds you've spent, and then as well as what we're kind of projecting for the future, so we can start looking at that next series of bonds, because we are starting to spend down those funds pretty heavily now.
If I could make a suggestion, that's the
Certainly.
kind of stuff that we should put into the little newsletter.
Yeah, correct. And so perfect timing with what you were saying is that we're gonna put together kind of a white paper as is of kind of, hey, you guys authorize these bonds, this is the projects we've been able to complete. this is what we have on the docket, and this is kind of what we're projecting in the future.
Good.
So,
We're gonna get that monthly, or is that just,
I'm doing it right now, but I would like to start doing it monthly for you guys with all the work that we have going on. Obviously, I put it in my report, but I can start adding it as an extra sheet of my report, and I think it would be beneficial, obviously with what you said, to make sure that, you know, we're very, very transparent as to all the great work you guys are doing.
and the sanitary sewer phase 1,
Mhm.
so we're doing 3 payments, does that mean 3 things got done?
Quite a bit has gotten done, so that covers the mobilization and kind of the first series of them going and starting to CIPP all the lines. 1, 2, and 3 all have portions of CIP, the cast-in-place piping.
What is CIP?
Cast-in-place piping, sorry. Cast-in-place piping, so what they do is they take a fiberglass sock, go through, they pressurize the line, expands, and cements into place, becomes a replacement shell for the line. And so they've finished all that, so that's covering all of that work. That contract was for a little over $550,000. And so they finished all that, now they're moving into the point repair portion of it, where we're actually fixing sags, broken pipes, and things like that, so that they then can be slip lined, is a kind of short slang for CIPP.
But you have 3 payments, was that all?
It was because they came in, because y'all had so early,
Okay.
and,
But I mean, was one payment for one set of jobs that they did, and another payment was for another task that they've done?
so the way the bid proposal was per linear foot, for cast-in-place pipes, so they completed a portion of,
Okay.
I can send you the full
So
breakdown.
this is all cast in pipe?
Yes,
That's
correct,
what I meant.
yes, sorry. The last thing is for the river plantation clearing, we did get the survey staking done between the district's properties, and we just kind of continue to monitor as necessary. So.
And also the guys working on the sewer lines are the ones parking on well number 1.
Storm sewer lines.
Storm sewer
Yes,
lines,
correct.
yes. Are
So the
parking
guys,
at
you mean the
well
guys
number 1.
working on Stonewall Jackson?
Yes.
Right now, yeah.
There's a bunch of them this morning.
They've got a lot of areas they're touching base, so they've got quite a few crews that they've moved out to keep going after it, so.
They were all parked out by the little pond there one day, right?
Well, yes, they were asked to move that day.
Julie chased them off with a club. Drove them around.
Was it Bridge Day or?
No.
So we
Actually,
need to
it may
make-
have been Bridge Day. Was it Bridge? No, Bridge Day was the next day.
Okay.
It was, yeah, no, Bridge Day was the next day.
So do we need to make a motion to accept Hanson Landscape
So,
to do the
let's
sprinklers?
break it down into a couple different ones, that way we can keep track. So the first one would be the request of authorization to begin design on the sanitary sewer rehab phase 2 and sanitary sewer manhole rehab phase 1. So I'd ask for that as a separate approval.
Say that again.
The sanitary sewer rehabilitation phase 2, request to authorization to begin design on that one, and then sanitary sewer manhole rehab phase 1, request authorization to begin design on that.
You need to just give us a prompt sheet.
Okay, the sanitary sewer rehab phase 2, right here. And then the sanitary sewer manhole rehab phase 1.
Yes,
That's one motion.
that's one motion.
Make a motion that we accept the sanitary sewer phase 2 design and the manhole rehab,
Phase 1.
phase 1.
That's it.
All in favor? Aye.
Since you guys have already approved the pay applications as far as the bookkeeper's report, we don't need a separate item for that. So the next one will be Charleston Park irrigation, to approve the proposal for getting all of those lines up in service for $49,000.
How long is it gonna take once we get it started?
They said they move pretty quick. He's got some crews in the waiting, ready to go. So I can get you a firmed up number on that.
I was just curious.
Yeah.
It would be before next meeting, right?
I was gonna
That
say
we-
before the next rain.
Yeah.
So.
No, as soon as he moves the crew in.
That's right. That's right.
That's just how the world works.
Hurry up and move it.
Yeah, right.
Tomorrow?
I'll make a motion that we accept the bid from Hanson Landscape Construction for the sprinkler system in Charleston.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
And then the last one would be to accept the bid from All Season for cleaning of the ditch, of one, and then going into an ongoing contract. Davis, could we include an attachment to the existing contract for that quarterly cleaning for All Season? Well, I guess we wouldn't want to do that because it's linked with East Plantation, and so they'd be on the hook for 50%, correct?
That's right.
Sorry.
We should do this, and then, we can get a budget, we can incorporate that into the budget.
Okay.
If it needs to be
Yeah.
done.
Okay. As soon as it came out of my mouth, I thought about East Plantation.
So we're just gonna do a motion for the initial cleaning?
Correct. And to proceed with entering into
The
a
quarterly.
contract with All Season.
All right, I make a motion that we accept the bid from All Seasons for initial cleaning of the east ditch.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And
And
then
then we also need to get an agreement, right? And get an agreement with
Approved.
approved
or quarterly.
We'll just do a
for
contract.
the quarterly
Yeah.
cleaning from All Seasons.
A second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I need to ask you one more thing, and we need, so Dave, are we done with Taylor?
Yes.
Okay. Going back to Keith, to the operator's report. No, this is easy. I'm taking work off of you. So, we've been getting inundated with realtors needing the, what's it called? Yeah, HAR 400.
It's the notice to purchaser.
Yes.
And, it should be posted, let me check your
Okay.
website. We have been posting all of the new, forms. Let's see here, yes, it is up on your website. If you click on resources and click on documents, and under documents down at the bottom, it says notice to purchaser of special taxing unit or assessment district. That document is up on your website.
Okay, so is anybody here the person that called me the other day?
Was that Matt?
No.
Oh, they were at the office.
Yeah,
Some
was
lady
it,
was
was
at
it
the
any of these
office.
people?
Huh?
Was it anybody at Tim?
No.
Okay. I don't think they're gonna find it there.
Is that a Monty thing?
They're not gonna find it where you said it is. She told me I needed to put a big red button on the front page that said, for realtors, click here.
Well, and it needs to have that form number on it so that they know what they're looking for.
If that's what you wanna do, I'm perfectly fine with that.
They actually can do that. You just gotta tell them what they want.
I'm just going by the phone conversation I had the other day. So,
I totally get it. There was a legislative change, and there are actually two bills that passed that was part of the confusion with the whole thing. But HAR has the forms up on their website. They pulled them down. They told everyone to go to the MUDs, and there, in that whole, deal, it just set off a panic. And so we've gotten thousands of calls from realtors as have, all of our clients.
okay. So can we maybe put it up at the top, can we maybe put something that says realtors or something, or, she told me they would not find it unless it said realtors.
Realtor info.
Documents.
Realtor documents.
If you have something that says documents.
We have a document, I'm telling you.
Notice to purchasers, however y'all wanna tell Monty to put it up,
Okay.
I think that's totally fine. I will tell you, the document is called the Notice to Purchaser of Special Taxing Unit or Assessment District. It is generally referred to as a Notice to Purchaser.
Okay, can we put maybe that at the bottom? Maybe just that instead of all the links go to references, and I'm just saying, I'm just repeating the conversation I had the other day. When the person pulled up the phone number and kept calling to get ADA compliance, thinking that was the MUD. Get where I'm going?
I totally get it, and So if you want us to reach out to Monty, we'd be happy to, and we'll see if we can add another link to make it even easier.
Okay.
Great.
Davis, does anybody refer to this as a number rather than
the rest of the world?
the words?
Yeah, she had a number, like 400 or.
Yeah, it is.
So that may be the HAR form number that was in like an HAR packet or something
Yeah.
like that.
State number though.
Candidly, the document and the information have always been in the real property records. So we file it with the amendment statement of directors, and we always have. And then HAR has had this, form that the realtors would fill out in many cases, and it would also, come from the title company. And now there were two pieces of legislation passed in the last legislative session, one effective immediately, one effective September 1, that require putting it online, and they're substantially the same. And so essentially what we've done, there's just so much confusion with the HAR situation that we've gone ahead and put them all up for all of our clients, because we think that's the right thing to do. So it's up, and we're getting it to everyone, and we'll absolutely call Monty tomorrow, and if there's anything else you want us to do with it, just
No.
let us know.
Good.
So,
See, I helped you out, Keith.
Thank
you.
No, Davis' shop has been, he's probably
One minor-
not happy with us. We've been sending
Who
him.
can fix this water leak out here?
Yeah, sprinklers will work in a minute.
Huh?
Yep, I'll talk to Keith in a second.
Okay.
Okay, did we approve we did everything for the engineer's report, right?
Yes.
Okay, adopt the resolution finding the district to be a low tax rate, a developing, or a developed district in a declared disaster area. Number 2, calling a public hearing. Oh, want to do them one at a time?
We already did that. We did that, we went ahead and did that with the budget, which makes sense.
Got it.
We took that one out of order.
I mean, Julie, with your permission, if I can just say a couple things about the taxable assessed value, I'll be really quick. Your taxable assessed value as of January 1st, 2023, the value we're using in our analysis was $221,290,601. That's an increase of about $16.5 million from the previous January 1st, which is about an 8% increase, which is solid growth in your district. It only just looks small compared to the previous year where you had that 21% increase. And then just to say very briefly a couple things about your debt service fund. Obviously we talked about keeping that debt service tax rate the same at 25 cents. We look at your full 2024, you're about to make a September 1st, 2023 debt service payment here in a couple days. We look at your entire 2024 debt service requirements and in fact beyond. But just taking into consideration the 2024 calendar year debt service requirements, I think your debt service fund will be at about a 9-month reserve. In an ideal world, I think it would be higher, similar to the general fund, closer to a 12-month reserve, but considering everything that's going on, I'm perfectly comfortable with where it is. So, happy to talk more about that, but I don't need to suck up the oxygen, that's fine.
Okay, all right, so the only other thing we need to do is just make sure everybody understands that special meeting is September 7th at 6:30 p.m. to set the tax rate, to vote on the tax rate, okay?
That's not gonna be our regular meeting
No,
also?
no, we're gonna have another regular meeting.
28.
What is it, the 28th? Okay, our regular meeting will be on the 28th. All right, do we need an executive session for anything? Cool.
No, ma'am.
All right, let's go home, I'm tired.
Make a motion that
We adjourn.
we adjourn.
All in favor? Oh, second it, yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right.
All right, thanks for coming.
Thank you all.